Hello again. Welcome back to another tutorial. This time I will take the Canon FL 50mm 1.8 and work with the aperture system and show how it looks into the actual aperture plates and how you can disassemble it and assemble it again. So the aperture actually works okay in this lens, no problem with that. Just have to set it on M, put it on 16. Okay, something is not working proper. Of course it does. Set it to M. I will just move my plate with the aperture ring. So nothing wrong there. Well, we will take a look inside and see how it can be. If there was oil on the blades, which then is not, it would have been the same process. So first we need to take off the back plate here, this one. It's held by 3 screws, one here, there and there. I use a 1.6mm screwdriver, flathead, to get those off. There's nothing really special except they are very tiny, so take care not have to have them fall on the floor, so one can look for a very long time. So this is how it looks. Just put it aside. So this is the back of the lens aperture system. So when I moved my ring here, I put it on A. This is actually how it will look. So what we need to do is to take off the mount itself, which is held by 4 crosshead screws, and I will use a JIS, Japan Industry Standard 0. I think the 00 is too small, so I'll just take it out. And keep 2 fingers on here, on the lock ring. It will prevent the very tiny steel ball, which I will show, from falling out, and you will not be able to find it, and so and so. So when lift off the back here, push on the aperture pin here that connects to the camera, push it all the way over, hold it, and at the same time lift up the mount. See, this pin here is connected to the aperture system here. So this is how it goes. This pin here is only the lock pin that goes from the A and M. And another thing to mention, the small steel bolt here, which is tiny, don't lose it. And of course the little spring here also need to be taken out. So that's for now, but to go further into the aperture system, we need one more thing, actually two more. We need to take off the nameplate here. It can sit pretty tight, so if it's too tight, we can use some nail polish remover with acetone, or you can just use acetone and put some on a cotton bud and just dip into the hole here. There should be some, but not make it too wet. And on the other hole too, there and there. It should be more easy to that one. It should be more easy to get the nameplate off. It can sit tight, so I just use a old compass, which I have filed and grind. It's the same with the other one, and of course this one. And now the nameplate is loose, so one could actually just move it by finger. If you have those rubber tools, you could also just unscrew it with that. But yeah, there is a lock pin here, which goes into here, so it cannot move, but so it stays there. Okay. Now we need to take out the whole lens assembly, and to do that there is a retaining ring on the back here with two small notches there and there. So use a compass or a lens spinner to unscrew it. It can sit very tight, so get a good grip. I have of course been into the lens and the aperture system just to make some research before I made the film, this film. And so the retaining ring is out, and just lift out the whole lens assembly from the focus system. It will just do like this. And to mention that, there is a lock pin on the side here. This one, not misunderstand, this is not the same, but the lock pin is a bit out here, and it goes into the notch here, and there's only one. So that was that. Now we have the whole lens assembly with the aperture system, and to get into that we need to take off the front lens group, which is also put in with some thread lock. And of course again we could use some nail polish remover on a cotton bud and just put some on the edge and press here, or you could just put into the holes there and there, and just a little, and then it should be possible to unscrew it. Just need some adjustment. So it can also sit very tight, and but yeah, comes off quite easy. And then I will use my rubber tool here to just easy unscrew it. Here we have it. And of course I can use the same rubber tool to put the lens on, so it stays safely. Now we go further into the aperture system, and we need to unscrew this fully, the pin that connects the ring, aperture ring, to the system. So, and there's a brass lock ring here, which we also need to take out. This one here. Unclink it. Quite easy. And remember there are two of them in different size. There, and then it should be possible to take out this ring. Remember how it is positioned. Don't get wrong, there's another pin over here, but this should be this one pin, like this. Come on. So, just to be sure how it should be. So, we take that out. And we go in any further into it, and there's another lock ring here, which we also need to take out. Just lifted that. Click. So, and not to forget about this ring that actually moved the blades from the aperture ring. It also needs to be taken out. So, and now something important. You see, the aperture system here has to sit correct. If it's too much clockwise or too much counterclockwise, it will not make the correct aperture. So before disassembling, I made a scratch here. Probably we can see it. Exposure. I make a scratch here, and I also make a scratch on the would you say the aperture system in the edge of the ring. So it's the same position. Don't forget that. So now we're almost ready to take the whole system out, but there are 3 set screws, one here, there, and over here. And like some other screws, like the lens front lens group, it's also, they have put on some thread lock, which we also need to use nail polish remover. So just add a little here, there, and there. It will melt the thread lock, so it'll be easier to unscrew. And don't take them out, I mean fully unscrew them, just loosen them a little. And keep the lens assembly like this. It will prevent all the system from falling out. Could be. So just loosen it. They're very small and short. That's it. Now we can, where's my tweezer here? We can gently take on the pin here, and probably, if it's loose enough, get this system out. You can see now it can be moved. So probably not all the screws are loose enough, but let's see how it goes. So I take in the pin here and just gently push. Oh, not a good idea. So, but here we are anyway. So that's actually the aperture system. As I thought that everything comes out here, I was wrong. This plate back here has to be unscrewed by 2 screws there. There's also some thread lock. So one could actually put on some nail polish remover too. But this plate comes off, and if you think about putting this direct on the table, don't do it, because all the blade will fall off. So what I actually learned about that, one could use a kind of a rubber tool or whatever, just to put those put the whole system on here, just so you know where it is. Maybe it's a little bit small, so maybe it's better with this rubber tool. So just let it stay there, and one can unscrew those. But before doing so, there's a spring here that we need to take out or just lift up, because all the blades will pop off very short. So you just take a and with a sharp tweezer go into the spring here as possible and just grab gently on it. At the same time you can hold here on the back and gently lift it up if it's possible. Maybe come on. So see, like this. So it's free. Now this can be moved without any resistance. This part over here there's no need to take out. So now we are actually ready to unscrew parts of this. And yeah, with a GIS0, the GIS00 screwdriver is, in my opinion, is a bit too small for those screws, but that's just my opinion. Keep a hand on it so it will not fall off, and unscrew it. So now if I lift off the ring, see the whole system. And it's possible to move gently, where you actually can see the whole, all the blades moving. Quite interesting. So we need to take all the blades out, and I will show how to put them back in again. So let it stay there. And well, just take all the blades out. They can only sit in one way, so there's nothing to be worried about. So now here you can see the aperture ring with a pin, and that's it actually. If there should be any, one can see there has been some worn out here, but it's not a problem. If there was oil on the in here, it will be all over the place, and the blade would be there will be a lot of oil on this. So if there was, I would use 99% isopropylalcohol and put all the blades and this one into the, and let them stay there for a while. But for now it's not a problem. So we'll just put this in again, and see, it can only sit in one way, so don't be worried about that. So we put on the blades again. It doesn't matter where you start, so it would be at like here. Need another tool to just You see, dentist tool is very handy. So, and they're cheap. So when putting in the last blade, it can be a what do you say, a challenge sometimes, but it's the same way it works. So we're almost there. Don't. Oh, come on. So. Now, to get the last blade in, I will, or I need to lift up one blade. It will make it a lot easier for things to go in and out. Everything sits correct. And just move the ring here a little and lift up this blade here. It could be one of the other, doesn't matter, but I have to go over here. And then fully close the aperture as much as you can. And then we will see how it will hold. So push it under. It can be a little tricky, but you'll see it works. So we're almost there. There. And here we are again, and can move the blades like it should be. Now put the plate on here. There's no oil on this one. Find the screw holes, and then we will just put them back in. So I will just put in one for now, and I will also use some thread lock, which will be it will be the Loctite 222. It's a very light purple thread lock. And we just use as little as possible. No need to overdo it. And I will just add some at the screw head. Need to loosen this a little, just a little. So. Then screw it in. And I will also take the other out again and put some thread lock. Just as little as possible. Come on. Yeah. So, and then gently tighten it. That's it. See? Works very good. Now I can put on the spring here again. Shouldn't be a problem. Can be, but come on. Sometimes they're really annoying, those springs. Okay. It went off. Yeah, it happens now and then. But we'll see how it will go. Okay, so here we are, and then we'll give it another go. Come on. So, yeah. So, snappy as it should be. Now, then we can just put it back in to the lens assembly here and tighten whatsoever should be tightened. The small screws, the small set screws. There's my tweezer here, and just put it in. Now, as you maybe remember, I put a mark here on the inside here, and I put a mark here on the aperture assembly, and it should stay the correct position. If not, the aperture will not be correct value. So I just tighten one screw, and I will put on some thread lock, just a little, and the other. And then I can just screw them in. Gently. Don't over tighten them. If you damage the set screw, you cannot get it out. So you then one have a real problem. Now the ring that actually moved the aperture has to sit correct. The long pin over here is not the correct, but the other one over here, that's the ring we look for. Oh, the pin. So we do so, and then just press gently on it. So it stays like this. And then the lock ring, the small lock ring for this system. It can be a little tight when putting it in, but so we are almost there. Ooh, click. So, and then we can move the blade as it should be. So, then this ring goes in and will continue over the pin that actually moved the blades, like this, not the long one, the short one over here, which you probably can see here. So, and of course there's another lock ring which we also need to put in. Oh, those smalls here, where did they come from? So, now we are almost there, and we just need the lock ring that connects the aperture ring with these inner ring. And there is a notch here, and the small screw that goes into here. Oh, come on. Sometimes it's just better to start over. And we will screw that in. So, see, this actually works pretty good. Yeah, then I can just put it in, or I could just add my my lens, front lens, and put that in. Looks okay. Oh, there's some tiny hair. I don't know where they come from. Sometimes they are just there. So, and the lens spinner has to say click somewhere. one going backward. There. And then I can screw it in without any problem or damage the thread. And I can also add the front. The lock pin here goes to here. Click. And then add the front nameplate itself. And then I also have to say click if I can get it to work. Yep, there. Oh. And then, so now we're almost there. Move the ring. So the only thing I need to do is put the lens assembly into the focus block. The lock pin here goes into the notch here, and then you will just click. You see, so, and then the retaining ring. Come on. So, here we are. And then tighten it. So we are almost there. Now we need to put in the little spring for the click function on the auto manual ring, and the little steel bolt goes here. One could give it a small drop of, just a little loop. It's fine. Now to put this back in again, I need to put all the way over here, and then put the see, has to be on that side of the aperture pin. So I will just put it on, find the screw holes there, and of course I should have loaded my screwdriver with a screw before I put it on. So I will just put one in at first. One screw in, so I know where things sit. My auto manual ring works, and then the rest of the screws I will just add some thread lock, just tiny, and then the first one I will put in again. See how it works like this. So it's free to. I have access to the other two screws. And of course the first one I screw in. Need some thread lock too. So that's actually that. Oh. But we need the cover, back cover plate, which should go here with those tiny screws. Really tiny. I mean, they're very short, but hope it will work anyway. No need to put thread lock on those. And the last one. So we are actually almost there. So now this it was something about the aperture system. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.